Okay, Cactus Bob here. Today we're going to talk about coolant service on vehicles. Antifreeze. First of all, I want to let it be known that this video is not for the casual driver, the person that owns one car or two cars. This is all he has. Because you guys have it easy. You can just change your antifreeze once every couple of years, and you don't really need to worry about any of this stuff. The new antifreeze comes complete with all the additives you need, and basically just follow your owner's manual and go with it. This video is more for somebody like me. Between business vehicles and personal vehicles, I would be changing antifreeze all the time and would have 100 gallons of used antifreeze around here that I would have to figure out some way to dispose of properly, not to mention the cost. So I've developed a little procedure that I do at every oil change to check my antifreeze and then make necessary repairs to the antifreeze so that I can move on without changing the antifreeze. And what that all wraps around is a test kit. It's called a heavy-duty coolant test kit. Now, for advertising reasons, I can't tell you who manufactures it. It comes in a little container like this, and inside here there is a small test tube, an instruction manual, a little eyedropper thing, and the test strips themselves. Now, this is not a cheap kit, and the expiration date happens very quickly, and it may scare you away a little bit. But let me tell you, this is definitely worth the money. And you can use these after the expiration date. Just don't go to extremes and hold on to them too long. What this test strip does is it checks 3 different parts of the antifreeze. It checks for nitrates, it checks for percentage, and it checks for pH. The percentage, you can do that with a cheap bubble tester. You just squeeze it in your radiator and you can see the percentage. And for me, that's not good enough. I mean, I can see it's green and I can know the percentage, and that's fine. But the other 2 you can't. And one of them is called nitrates. Nitrates are, consider it like soap in your antifreeze. It does a lot of different things. It's an anti-corrosion, it's a water softener, it's a lubricant. It just kind of ties everything together so that you don't get buildup on your radiator inside and build up inside your engine block. And if your nitrates are low, your antifreeze is going to be green and it's not going to freeze, but it's not going to do much else. And the other thing is pH. Now, pH is important for a different reason. It never used to be as important as it is today, but it's very important today. pH is important on a lot of modern engines because of dissimilar metals. You'll have an iron block and even iron heads, but you'll have an aluminum water pump housing or stainless steel freeze-out plugs or many, well, stainless steel and iron are the same thing, but there's just so many dissimilar metals in an engine today, aluminum heads and all this kind of stuff, that you've really got to watch your pH. And there's no outward appearance that your pH is off without a test strip. So you check your pH and you check your nitrates and you make repairs if necessary. Now, this repair for pH is totally unproven. I don't want anybody to email me because something went wrong, but this has worked for me. And because I have a pool, I have pool chemicals, including this pool chemical, a pH minus. This is designed to work with thousands and thousands of gallons. It's a powder. It's not designed to use in your engine. But I found that a couple tablespoons of this product in with the coolant lowers my pH and brings the coolant back into line where I want. Side effects over the last 2 years are minimal, but 2 years is not a very long time. I may be replacing head gaskets and aluminum heads and all kinds of things down the road as a result of using this product. But it works for me right now, so I'm putting it out there. If you want to try it, be my guest. But this will bring your pH back in balance. Now, if your nitrates are low, you don't have to change the antifreeze. You can buy a cooling system treatment. You can buy them from many different manufacturers. And you just pour a little of this in, take some of the water out of your radiator, and pour cooling system treatment in there. And that has all the good stuff that makes the antifreeze work. It has the rust and corrosion inhibitors, it has the soap, it has all of the things that make the antifreeze what it is. So basically that is it in a nutshell. If you've got a lot of vehicles, you'll want to invest in a test kit. Very important. And you want to check your antifreeze every year in vehicles that aren't being used, and every time you do an oil change on vehicles that you do use. And make your adjustments accordingly so that your vehicles stay in good shape. I can tell you what happens if you don't. If your pH is off and you go and you lose your head gasket, it's very possible when you pull the top of your engine off, you pull that head off, that you'll be able to take your pocket knife and scrape off parts of your head. I have seen the aluminum disintegrate on a head with an engine with bad pH. I've seen water pump housings get giant pimples, giant craters in them, like the surface of the moon. You want to make sure your pH is good. And if your nitrates are not good, you're going to see all kinds of deposits in your radiator. You're going to clog up your heater core. You're going to have all kinds of trouble. So you need to do those two things. And one final thing. On engines that are sitting out, like we've got a couple of engines sitting here with nothing in them. They're just sitting out on the ground with a tarp over them. You guys are going to put one of those engines in your car, pull it apart and change a head gasket. If a vehicle develops a coolant leak while it's sitting, spend the time, fix the coolant leak, and get antifreeze back in that engine. Engines that sit dry, that are allowed to have air get into the cooling passages, end up deteriorated aluminum heads, bad head gaskets, rust and corrosion inside the blocks. So keep your systems full, keep them clean, and you shouldn't have any problems storing vehicles for 10 years or more. Okay? Well, thank you for your time. I hope I brought some of this stuff to light, and I wish you luck. Cactus Bob out.